Give it a couple seconds. Give it a couple seconds. Alright, heat up my irons. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at a Kindle Paperwhite. I just got this in the mail, and I bought one for my girlfriend this past weekend, and I really liked them, so I bought myself one. But then I saw that there are the storage is eMMC, which, as we know from the PlayStation Classic, is something that we can swap. Though I don't know if I want to swap it or if I want to just root the device. The Kindle Paperwhite version that I have currently does not have a jailbreak for it, and jailbreaking is just getting basically a root on the device. Oh, and my camera is not plugged into the right input. Let's see. My Microsoft camera. There we go. All right. I'm going to turn up the intensity a bit. Okay. So basically, all I'm going to do today is to see if I can get this shield off of this, off of the chip, because the board itself, unfortunately, all the chips, all the processor here, and I think that's the RAM, the Wi-Fi chip. Actually, this might be RAM. I don't know. One of these has the MMC chip underneath it, so I need to figure out which one that is. I was going to cut it with a razor blade, but ironically, you couldn't cut it. So, where did I put my iron? Okay. Oh, it's not plugged in. That might help. That might help. Do I have an extra power cable laying around? No, this is a mess. Yeah. Okay. Stay, stupid power cable, stay. Alright, sorry. Alright, so that'll heat up. So basically what we're looking at doing is taking the shielding off, which is going to be a pain because it is soldered along the edge here. It's pretty common to put RF shields on things, but the Kindle, for some reason, is very well designed as a product. And they're actually pretty cheap, too, when you get down to like the actual cost of the device. They use cheap CPUs and everything like that, but they're manufactured really well. And they're so they paid a lot of attention to them. So I don't think that this alone is going to... Maybe it is. So what I'm going to try doing is I'm going to try adding some solder to this and then wicking it away. And we'll see how well that works. Oh, there's my solder chain. Sorry if I got shaky hands tonight. Ooh, we're going to have to crank the heat on this thing. Okay. So where is my solder wick? There it is. That's actually where I put it. That's actually incredible. This little puck back in. Sorry, audio. My bad. Alright. Motherboard. Focus, kind of. There we go. Alright, that should be better. Yeah, that's not working out too well. How the devil are we going to get this off? I mean, we could try to do it the brute force way and just start lifting up on it as we desolder it, or as we heat it up. But in order to do that, I need my second little, this thing, my little arm. Hold this down. All we're going to do is we're going to take these tweezers this. I have to take that rubber boot off the LED too, so let's do that. So I already broke this Kindle's screen. Well, I didn't break the screen completely, but I kind of lifted the diffusion layer on it, which basically means that it's broken. Chair. All right. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Probably the most inefficient way of doing this, but seems to be lifting up a bit. And really all we gotta do is get it up high enough off the board so that when we do wick it, it's just raised off the board enough. We could use the hot air. I'm really worried about pieces like this. Oh, is this just... Ooh. This can just lift off. Yeah, there we go. Let's take that off. Okay, so there's the LED. Let's take this guy off. Don't need him. We'll try it with the hot air. Really, if we can just get it to the point where if we can get it to the point where we can take the shield off and we can possibly see some of the data lines, then we'll have a better idea of how we can actually like hack this thing going forward. Maybe it's more. That is in there, like that, that. Come on, syringe, you're not working with me today. Plan is to heat this up as much as possible and then just barely lift it up, because we don't want to move the chip underneath. Like that. That's what we want right there. Perfect. It doesn't look like we disturbed anything either, so that's good. I believe this is the eMMC chip. It looks like it. Okay. So if we take a better look at this, it's really hot, so I'm going to let it sit for a second. I'm going to get this into the camera's view. Ow. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. I gotta get a different puck for this thing. It's just a bit too much of a pain. Huh, okay. So this is the eMMC chip, I believe. It looks like it's the right size and everything. What I was really hoping for was some data lines that would run out from underneath the chip onto the board. It doesn't look like that's the case. There's some lines out here, but these don't look like data at all. SanDisk, yes, 2G. That's exactly what we're looking for. See, it just goes to show all you need to do is make an educated guess. You don't actually need to know what you're doing. Okay, SanDisk. SDIN 5D1 2G for 2 gigabytes. 344. Blah blah blah. That's just probably the serial. Okay, so let's look this up. This is a SanDisk. SDIN 5D1 2G. Did we not get a data sheet? SanDisk micro SD, that's not what we want. We want that. iNAND eMMC 4.3. I guess I could add a profile to this called desktop. Let me get this view for you. And we'll do display capture. Done. So yes, I use a 4x3 monitor on this machine now. So I'm gonna have to deal with that, but it should be okay. Move the logo up on top like that. Boom. Okay. So if we look at this data sheet, we're going to be looking at the pinout. Okay, so this is a 153 pin. iNAND specification. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Not connected, so I believe everything is going to be in close to the middle. Oh no, DAT0, okay. So where's the register? Where's the key? I would assume that this is going to be in the direction of the arrow, which would be in the bottom left there. So, look at this data sheet. In here is where all of our data lines are. We're also looking for, we really only need DAT0 and command and clock, which are down here. So, that means that DAT0 is going to be over on this side of the chip, I believe. I could be completely wrong there. I'm assuming that this is like the A row or A column down here. So there's no data lines coming out from here, which is concerning. If we flip the board over, is there anything useful in that area? Not really. Some touch points, but nothing. I guess what we could do is lift that chip up. Let's try lifting that chip up. And I'll switch back to the main webcam in a second. Now this we got to be careful with. Because this chip can lift very, very easily. There we go. There's crap out here. let's go like this. Hold that there. Hold that there. All right. And we're going to use our really nice kind of hook tweezers for this. All right. So we need our hot air. This one's bent. Holy cow. Bend that back. So we got to watch out for these passives down here. So I'm going to grab the chip right on the bottom. Make sure it's wiggling first. You want it to wiggle. I'm going to try to keep away from that connector over there. Oh no, dead zero, it's down here. Okay. Let that sizzle for a second. God, that camera quality is not great online. I apologize. So I learned that eMMC actually has a boot partition. It's fairly protected, which is probably why I didn't see success when trying to do the PlayStation stuff. So that's good to know for the future. I don't know how you actually read-write that without putting it on a device that can do that. So I need to get like an eMMC, like an actual eMMC test board and reader type thing if I want to start doing stuff like that. Alright, so I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, turn my temps down. Prime my wick a bit. Like I said, I already broke this Kindle, so if we screw something up here, it's not the end of the world. It'll be an interesting dive into how things work. Man, they really made this board really well. I'll point out why in a second, but this is a very well designed system. Why is my iron not working here? Why is it clogging up like this? Not going well. Let's try swapping the solder. Let's get rid of some of that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting solder on this tip and just running it over all the pads to try to get rid of some of the unleaded solder, lead-free solder on the board, because that usually takes a lot more heat to get working or to get melted. So I'm just going to do that, clean my tip off, and then I'll use the wick again. Yeah, see how much easier that comes up now. So I'm actually kind of confused in how they actually get this wired up to the CPU, because there's no, what I'm looking for is vias. Come on. Because vias are how you transfer signals from one side of the board or one layer of the board to the other layer of the board. And there's nothing like super visible here. Sorry, this is taking a while to clean up. I might just cut my losses here for not do the greatest job. That's fine, whatever. I need to eat soon anyway. What's up, P-Snap? So I just saw that a bunch of people joined. I'm messing with a Kindle. I'm not doing anything with consoles. Sorry if that disappoints you, but I felt like doing some hardware stuff today and I didn't really want to delve into any console stuff. And I really did not do a good job cleaning this up at all. That's actually kind of pathetic, but all I want to do is I want to point out how well this thing is built. To put that on the tweeters. Alright. So, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty if we can. How are we going to do this? So, if you notice something about this board, is that there are a distinct lack of vias on it. And I believe what they've done it's kind of hard to focus this close, but So all the solder seems to be pooling in a certain fashion. I believe what they've done is instead of having like actual vias, like normally what you'd see is, you know, from this pin here, you'd either see a trace coming off of it and then go down through the board through a via, or you'd see it coming out from underneath the chip. You see that a lot with, look at the PlayStation Classic here. You can see a lot of that happening with this eMMC slot. You know, you see this coming out here, it goes to a via there. You don't get that with the Kindle. And I think it's because each one of these pads is actually a via or a hole. I didn't really get this down to what I thought I was going to get it to. But one thing to do would be to, like this here, this is technically a via. I don't know. I don't understand. It's actually really well done. I'm surprised. But that's all I'm going to do for today. I thought I'd find something more interesting, but I guess not. I'll probably pop this in my reader at some point in the next couple days and the eMMC chip that I took off and see if there's anything interesting on it. But yeah, this board, I basically killed it. Whoops. I could probably solder the eMMC back on to see if it works. But I haven't been very successful with that lately. So thanks for watching. If you watched, have a good night.